Maybe you're considering selling your home, but unsure if now is the best time to do so. Maybe you're thinking about refinancing, but want to make sure that you get the very best deal possible. In today's video, I'm going to cover the factors that can impact a home's valuation and help you understand how the process works. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Reese, and for the purpose of today's video, let's begin by looking at current market conditions. The housing market is constantly changing, and although it may not be as volatile as, say, cryptocurrency and stocks, just to name two very simple examples, it is still very important to stay up to date with current trends in your local area. Factors such as the state of the economy, what the unemployment rate looks like, as well as what current interest rates are doing, are all massive contributors which can impact the housing market. At the time of recording this video, interest rates are creeping back up to a point that we haven't seen in over a decade, and it's actually now starting to noticeably put pressure on the market. The unemployment rate right now is pretty low, which typically indicates a strong economy, and this can have a positive impact on house prices. See, when more people are employed, they generally have a stable income, which allows them to take risks, such as purchasing a property and actually being able to service a debt that they might take on. Then what occurs when this happens in the masses, increased demand leads to higher prices because people are willing to pay more for those types of assets. Currently, at the time of recording this video, inflation is through the roof, which can indicate a number of things for the housing market, but generally, high inflation is not good for house prices. High inflation can be a sign of a robust or really active economy, which can increase demand for housing and then drive prices up. However, as we are currently seeing, higher inflation can lead to higher interest rates, which can have a negative impact on someone's ability to actually borrow money to purchase a property, as well as make it really difficult for them to actually service that debt. It almost makes it expensive to borrow money to buy an asset like this, which in theory should decrease demand and reduce the prices overall of houses as it becomes less competitive to buy one. As we are also seeing as a negative effect from high inflation, the cost of living and costs of goods and services have skyrocketed as well. This can make it incredibly difficult for someone to actually purchase a property knowing that those costs are going to be a burden on top of a mortgage that they might need to service as well, which, like I just said, this will feed directly into that decrease in demand and reduction in prices theoretically. So what does this mean for your home and the path that you might take in the future to make sure that you put yourself in the very best situation to capitalize on an opportunity, as now may be a really good time to sell depending on what the market is doing in your local area. And the other element which fits into this piece that you definitely should be considering as well is your own personal circumstances. You may not be in the situation of what I'm about to talk about, but it might be something that occurs later in life, something that might not be completely applicable right now, but something that if you hear it now, actually think about it and come back to this if you ever do find yourself in this situation. It might be, again, something you factor into this decision. Some of these personal circumstances that come to mind would be, are you planning to move in the near future or just in the future in general? Are you facing financial hardship at this current point in time, or do you need to sell your house quickly for a specific reason? These are all very common factors which can impact your decision to reevaluate your home's value, as well as it can impact your decision on whether you should or shouldn't sell at this point in time. And the best way to go about doing this is to at least engage with one of the following, being a bank, a professional property appraiser, as well as potentially a real estate agent to gain a more accurate representation of your home's value. A bank will typically value a home by ordering a valuation report from a professional appraiser. The appraiser in some circumstances will actually come out and visit the property to assess things like its size, its condition, what features it has within, as well as where it's located. And on top of this, they will compare similar properties that have recently sold in the area as well to form this report, where the appraiser would then provide the bank with that report and an estimated value of the home, and the bank would then use that number as part of their calculations, alongside information of the borrower's credit score, as well as income to be used as part of that overall calculation to determine how much money they could lend to this potential person if they were wanting to borrow money to go and purchase a house, just as one very similar example. You can also have a professional property valuation done by a verified appraiser as well by going directly to one by yourself. However, this will typically come with a fee, which could range in the hundreds and even low thousands depending on what the property is and all of the complexities that are contained within, and how hard and how long it's going to take that appraiser to derive that report. And then finally, your last option being going to a real estate agent, which involves researching and comparing the prices of recently sold houses within your local area. I call this task simply Googling the most frequently used real estate websites within Australia and then scraping the sales data to formulate that estimated cost. Anyone can do this, in my opinion, where a real estate agent will generally use this information to determine an asking price for the property. And it's definitely worth mentioning it as well that a real estate agent's opinion on what the value of a home is should definitely be taken with a grain of salt, as their opinion may be influenced by their own vested interest, as usually real estate agents will get a commission on the sale of a property. So be very careful with the information that one might provide you with. The overall point here is that all of these service providers should be able to provide you with some information and guidance on what the rough valuation of your property is worth at any point in time that you ask for that valuation to be carried out on your property. Reevaluating your home's value is an important decision that definitely needs careful consideration between three things: your own personal circumstances and what you're wanting to do with the property, what current market conditions are at the very point in time that you're deciding to go down this path, as well as what expert advice is being provided to you. Make sure you understand those three forums when going down this path. I hope that today's video has provided some insight into the factors that you should be considering when looking at getting your house revalued, as well as making the decision as to whether or not you should or shouldn't be selling at this very point in time. And that is pretty much all I had for you today. It was a pretty simple video in nature, but again, an important topic for people that it's applicable to, or potentially will be applicable to in the future. I'm going to leave you there. If you did enjoy, please hit that like and subscribe button down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, have a great week, and bye for now.